What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony with the Wrenched Out Experiment. Thank you guys for tuning in. 2019's wrapping up. We're heading into 2020. Let's talk about that. Stay tuned. All right, guys. So 2019 is right here. We are upon it, and let's talk about some of the things we did 2019 and then dive into what we want to do in 2020. Right now, before I dive into that, I'm Anthony. This is the Wrenched Out Experiment. This is my YouTube channel, one of a couple. I do currently operate two. The Experiment is one, and then Wrenched Out Garage is the other, where I dive into all kinds of automotive stuff and much more. Check that out. I'll put the link down to that down below. So I am shooting with the Hero 7 to my right. That's kind of this head-on shot, and then I'm shooting this with the Hero 8. Both are being shot with 4K 24 frames per second in the Super View mode. And I wanted to try this just to see what happens. Obviously got my gear set up. I did have to update the Roadmaster Pro as I shot this video, or started to shoot this video earlier, and I kept getting some funky sounds. So here we are reshooting 2019. So let me get a drink of coffee here before I dive into that. 2019 was a super cool year for me. Artistically, as far as the Wrenched Out Experiment goes, in one hand. In the other hand, it was quite a challenge. So if you're not familiar with me, I did work in the oil and gas business. Essentially, I was a camp manager and did a bunch of different tasks. I'm not going to dive into that, but I did that for over a decade here in the northern part of Alaska. This year, the beginning of the year, I transitioned to a Anchorage-based job, which, if you're not familiar with Alaska, Anchorage is the biggest city by far here in the state, which is small in comparison to a lot of the large cities in the contingent U.S. But essentially, I relocated, added a lot of travel time, and a pretty significant life change, as previous to that, I was doing rotational work, which means I'd leave for weeks on end and be home for weeks on end. So that impacted my Wrenched Out Experiment. At first, I was thinking, okay, well, I'm going to be able to do this more often because I'm home more. Well, work kind of took hold, and between work and family, all of a sudden, my time kind of slid away. So I did put out some videos, as you guys saw, but I left a lot on the plate, and we'll dive into that a little bit here in a moment. So ultimately, I had that going on. I am going back to college. And then I have a lot of other endeavors I dived into in 2019. Super proud of the year, though. I will say that as it all kind of comes into focus here at the end, getting ready to walk into 2020. However, there was a lot of things I wanted to do that I was not able to do with the Wrenched Out Experiment with you guys. And that's what I want to talk a little bit about today, and then talk about what our 2020 goals are. So, I wanted to shoot a lot of drone footage, and for whatever reason, I have not used the drone very much at all in 2019, not near what I've used it in the past, and there's a lot of shots and a lot of things I wanted to do with it. So 2020, that's one of the goals. Another goal for 2020 is, for me personally, outside of the Wrenched Out Experiment, but I am going to include it because I'm going to start doing hopefully more videos in this arena, and that is getting back into the physical shape I was in a couple of years ago, and hopefully better. And the way that I'm going to accomplish that, just flat out, is I already am a huge proponent of going to the gym. I am a regular there. I, at minimum, make it 3 to 5 times a week. So that isn't a problem, with the exception of getting outside of the showing up part and really starting to push myself. Now, with pushing myself, that is kind of the key to success and where one of my focuses are going to go. And a lot of that has to do with changing my diet, moving into a, I guess, better quality meats, better vegetable choices, not overeating, and a lot more. So I'll do videos on those here throughout this year too, because that's really important to me, and I want to kick 2020 off that way. In fact, I just got back from the grocery store and made better conscious decisions while I was there, hopefully supporting myself, my family, and so much more with those decisions. We'll see. Hopefully you guys will be in my corner when those videos come out and I start explaining more in that world. So that's a couple of things. One of the other things that I guess impacted me to some degree was my computer. Now, I finally upgraded my tower. I had the Aurora R6 Alienware, which I totally maxed out. It has 2 SLI 1080 graphics cards, 5 solid-state hard drives, 64 gigs of RAM, so forth and so on. I'm not going to go into the specs on that in this video. The problem was the CPU. I was getting what's somewhat bottlenecking with the software that I was running in conjunction with that, so I wasn't able to produce essentially what I wanted to in a timely fashion. Videos took way longer than they should have. I've been processing a lot with 4K, 24 frames, 30 frames, 60 frames, and it just took way too long. So upgraded the computer. I'll talk about that in a different video. The computer is upgraded. Really good deal. And then I went and got a bunch of these GoPros. Now, this is all out of my pocket, guys. So, again, if you guys do watch these videos, I have Amazon links for some of the gear. Between that and just watching them, sharing the videos, giving it a thumbs up, commenting, that's what hopefully pays us back. And 2020 is going to be our year because we're going to hit the 1 video a week. And my goal for 2020 with this new gear, with having the hardware, focusing on that healthy living, is to just grab one of these GoPros, whether it's the Hero 7 Blacks or the Hero 8 Black, and just talking through or showing you guys essentially what it is I'm talking about and including you more in a more dynamic way instead of trying to set up all these elaborate things for no reason. Or maybe it's just back here in the office. I also got some office videos I want to talk about. The office is a mess right now. In fact, maybe I'll shoot a video here this afternoon or tomorrow, just talk you through the mess of my office right now and what's going on. Just to show you guys kind of what is going on and where we're at with that. So, shooting videos is another goal, but it's more about not shooting the video. It's more about the story and the content and me including you guys. I feel like that is the most important part for me in 2020, is to include you guys more in what I'm actually doing instead of either theorizing or explaining, and really just show you guys, hey, this is what it is. And in fact, I'll do a video on the good old office here shortly, because it is a mess, but I want to explain the mess and why and some of the plans that I'm going to do here in 2020 as well. So that's kind of the crux of this video right there. The other part of it is I want to thank everybody. You know, I did just mention the money that I spend in buying this gear and whatnot, but the thing with you guys commenting, the thing with you guys sharing this content is what really makes it worthwhile. You know, we are a smaller YouTube channel. I do need to put out more content, but with all of that aside, I truly do appreciate the comments. I like generating the conversations, and it's because of you guys, and it's because of the viewers and everything else. So thank you for that. And let's dive into essentially the last topic for today's discussion here on the end of 2019, start of 2020 kind of conversation, and that is 2020. So I talked about some of the health stuff, talked about some of the technology stuff with, I will be shooting more drone stuff. I'll be kind of gunning with the GoPros and so much more. But the other cool part that and I don't know why I elected to do this or not do this, is just talking about some of the current stuff that I think is cool, or technology, or entertainment, or no matter what it is, but just diving into those things, because A, I enjoy talking about it, and B, it's easy, it's more relevant to what the experiment is turning and evolving into. And on that evolutionary note, this 2020 marks 4 years on YouTube. A lot of peaks and valleys, ups and downs. I'll go into that in a video in itself. But I can't say enough as far as being a creative person and trying to build videos and trying to build content, and just stepping out and doing this and talking about stuff and trying to generate the momentum to continue forward. And I definitely have that, and I want to make sure that I stay on point with everything that I'm saying. So let's wrap it up there on a high note. Thank you guys again. I can't say it enough on just how proud I am as far as YouTube goes and creating content, and how excited, like truly, truly excited I am. You know, as I was setting up to shoot this, I had some issues. The GoPros died. I had to update the software on this. This was making, my mic was making all kinds of crazy, you know, in that moment, you know, you sit there and like, damn, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And then it starts to pull through. I'm like, no, dude, you got this. Let's put this video together, put it out there, and gear up for the next one, and gear up for the next one. Let's get this ball rolling in the right direction. So, ending it on that note, super stoked to see 2020. Hope you guys are too. Thank you for checking out our video. Again, I'm Anthony. This is the Wrench Experiment. Coming to you, hopefully, our next video will be in 2020. Again, I think I'm just going to do a quick office walk around and talk through that. But that's it, guys. That's it for 2019 here at the Wrench Experiment. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Don't forget, hit subscribe, share the videos, comment down below. We'll see you in 2020.